Now, if you're single, you've probably been confronted with questions around what your next plan is as it pertains a relationship. When are you getting children? Or when are you going to get married? Where is your husband at? Are you meeting somebody on a date? Why are you so quiet here, Tabitha? What's going on? All right. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you can succumb to the pressure to want to get hitched, if for nothing else, just so your mom and her charmer and your aunts can get off of your back. I want us to have a quick chat about ways to stay positive and happy even while still single. It's possible, right? Please tell me it is. A very good evening to you. My name is Eric. This is Eric Stories. Is it your first time here? Yo! Thank you so much for choosing to hang out with me. Eric Stories is about ideas you and I share together, about issues of everyday life. I value and really look forward to all of your perspectives. I am on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. Come on, man. Come on. Yes. So thank you so much. Please don't hold back your mind about these conversations. I love to hear from your standpoint so that it can challenge my thinking and hopefully cause me to grow as well, right? So a friend of mine, we were discussing not too long ago. We've been friends for many, many years. So the first time she was buying her first car, I took her to buy the car, maybe 6 years ago. And I remember we were really bargaining, right? I'm actually a very good bargainer. So I was going on and telling the guy, please slash off the 50K. We need the insurance money and so on and so forth. And then when we drove away with the car, we were having a conversation around her dream car. And she went on about this car, which at that point in time when we were discussing it 6 years ago, looked like something out of this world. It looked like an utopian idea, right? But when I was thinking about this particular friend of mine, so I called her the other day and we were having this conversation, it occurred to me that she not only got to drive her dream car, she actually, sold it and bought another car. So I was telling my friend that sometimes we do the greatest injustice to ourselves by postponing happiness until we achieve attainment. So that if you're single, you decide that the day you'll smile and probably be very happy is when you get married. Or if you are broke, then the day you'll be very happy is when you get a job. But I'm learning not to do that. It's unwise to do that. Because even upon achieving attainment, you realize that it's amazing, yes, but it's not worth all the agonizing and doom and gloom of missing out on the journey that is life just so that you attain. You do not want to miss the forest for the tree. Put another way, you don't want to miss the joy of the journey for the destination. So I'm saying all of these to make an argument that I believe, really I do, that it's possible and should be possible to be whole, happy, dependable, excited, full of life, even as a single person, in the state of waiting for you to be happy when you're coupled up. Nothing wrong with being married. But should you be sad and almost take yourself into a series of dodges because you're unmarried? I think not. So that's a conversation I want us to have, you and I, ways to stay positive and happy while you're single. I've been asked this not so much. My family, at least my older relatives, don't have that pressure for wanting me to get hitched. But I hear it around my friends and even former colleagues. So they whisper. There are also these whispery, quiet questions of what's going to happen, how long are you going to hang around for? So what need you do when you are not coupled? Because that's where you are right now. Life is accepting, rather happiness is accepting where you are in life right now. What need you do to stay happy and positive as a single person? I want to share with you some of the things I wrote down and I decided to do when I came off of all romantic relationships. And I think these things are doing me good. And if probably you've been wondering or postponing happiness or postponing joy and bliss that is life in its entirety to a promised destination of bliss or attainment, then you might want to rethink that, right? One of the things I think is very important, because flying solo in my mind doesn't need to equate loneliness, all right, or unhappiness. One of the things I think is very important so that you're wholesome even in your being solo is to try and get to know yourself on a deeper level. It's very important. Now, people have a tendency to lose themselves in relationships. You've had it. Time with that number. Oh, baby's calling. Guys, I have to rush. Oh my gosh. I know it's just been 3 seconds and 42 nanoseconds. But, oh gosh, baby, he's just is the parking, guys. I'll see you around. I love you guys. Bye. So, in the drama of you with your boyfriend or you with your husband and all of that, you get to lose yourself. So then, if now, for one reason or the other, be you divorced or out of a relationship, I would advise strongly, if somebody asked me, to use the time to know about yourself. What are your preferences in terms of how do you like to be loved? What would you want in terms of your hobbies? What do you want to spruce up? Okay? What do you want to achieve before that other commitment of a relationship? Because it's a commitment. So I would say to use the single season to follow your curiosities. You remember that writing club you had wanted to join? This is a perfect time to do it. How about the singing you say you really love to do? Now that you're single, that's amazing. Go to that singing thing and sing or join that choir, right? I'd basically just lose yourself to your passions and find your flow while at it. Just lose yourself to your passions, whatever the passions are. And now that you're single, that's an incredible place to start. Look, if you were planning to get married, if that's in your things to do, this is an excellent time to work on your finances. You owe people money. Why don't you work around a plan to just quietly pay them for the length of time that you're alone? And then when you meet somebody, they'll find a whole, complete individual who is not a deficit, but an asset. Somebody who they won't have to inherit their debts, That's another thing you can be doing. Work on your appetites. I'll tell you a story, maybe in a tentative series, how I just decided to cut off sex. Yes. I said, you know what? This thing has its own baggages, so I completely did away with sex. And you won't die, I promise you. If your brother watching, they're like, what, sex? So I did. I just said, I am abandoning these. I'll use this equipment much later down the road, but I want to find my zen. And it's working amazingly. Your head is clear. You do things amazingly, right? Story for another day. So work on your appetites. Are you given to a monstrous appetite to sleep with 4 or 5 people in a day? And you plan to get married in the future? Maybe 1 to 20 to 2 people, then 1 person, then nobody until you meet the person. I think that would be a workable plan that can achieve good success, don't you think? Because now if you get married and you love sessions in the afternoon with Paul, John, Steve, Agnes, Njeri, and Julie, you're going to be in a hot soup because you're only going to get married to 1 person unless you plan to get married to 4 people. Something to think about. If you're struggling with ferocious eating habits and you want to shed that out, single time is the best time to deal with that. Fall in love with yourself first, all right? As we keep saying, intrapersonal relationship far supersedes relationship with other people. So revisit your interests. You know the thighs you look at and you're like, I hate my thighs. Oh my word, why are my thighs so thick? Have a good, positive image of your body, all right? Treat yourself a little kindly. You know the way you want to treat this partner of yours, all right? The way you swear that if I meet this guy, oh my God, imagine I'll be saving and even going to vacay with Bay. How about you go on vacay by thyself? Take yourself for ice cream at 2 a.m. You're a person, you're deserving of love. That's another way to treat yourself kindly, all right? So I would strongly suggest that you treat yourself as you would treat the partner you desperately want to be in a relationship with now, who hasn't swung by yet. She hasn't come around. Go out, go watch a movie by yourself. I did that before COVID. I was in the theater all by myself, and boy, wasn't it amazing. Cultivate more self-compassion, less shame, more self-acceptance of whatever it is you have. Do you have a bald that is bothering you and you feel your hairline had grown? Just oil it. Love on that thing, man. That's the only head you've got. All right? So you want to cultivate more body love and acceptance. Whichever part of your body you don't feel is good, love on it. Spend time with your body. Oil yourself. Yes, Joffrey. Oil your ankles. Uku. You want to oil that thing, right? All right? And things like getting a better routine with your workout plan, perhaps. If you feel like something is sagging and you want to tighten it, this is a good time as a single person. Use the time while single to do whatever you want. This includes things like, you're rearranging your space. Do you have tapestries that you want to acquire? Do you have maybe candles or incense that you want to light up? Do you want to paint your wall purple or luminous indigo? All right. Watch your trashy TV shows and the series. Nobody's going to go like, what are you watching? What are you watching? I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, you are that age. What are you watching? Watch it. No bays here. You are the bay. So do that now. All right. Get in touch with your wide range of emotions. Nobody's going to feel laden by your emotions now. So you can wake up at 2 a.m. and wail. Feel sad. Nobody's going to go like, oh my God, oh Lord. Jennifer, again with your melodrama. Use the time to, get in touch with your emotions. All right? Reconnect with your favorite people. Now, many couples unintentionally spend very little time with their favorite people. You know those friends you went to school with? That woman you're in college with, who you were best buds back in the day for 12 years, the one you knew for 17 years now or 27. How about you connect with that person? Call them up, meet up for coffee. All right? Use the time while you're single to enjoy time with your closest of friends and families. You are more introverted like me. Another way you can spend your time to luxuriate is, be quiet in your solitude and maybe read a book. All right? Just smell your candle and take your very nice coffee. All right? One other thing you can do, which I think is very important, use the time to learn from your past. I keep telling you stories about the things I've gone through. Some of them, when I think back now, I'm just like, Eric, you're such an idiot. Thank God for the lessons, But you want to really reevaluate your past relationships. Not just castigating the people you dated, but a good time to look in the mirror and really reevaluate the things you did that caused the failure in the relationship. Were you sleeping around perhaps? That is a good time, Fred, to, tame your appetite for sex again. All right. Were you lying perpetually? You are a liar. You know it. So just look in the mirror and say, you know what? You didn't treat that woman good. You are a liar. So then work on not being lying as much, or rather liar, pants on fire like you used to lie. All right. Find out your attachment styles. All right. Take an inventory of past relationships and get clear with yourself about what you do and what you didn't do that would be better for your next relationship. Sometimes you don't pause to think. You're just sitting around thinking, no, it was the other person. But if you look really well, like I keep saying, most of the relationship, the people I was dating were not perfect. But oh my God, have you met Eric? I wouldn't date me then. It's piteous that I'd put myself out there for a relationship. I was very inconsistent with so many things. It's a shame that even somebody was gracious enough to have considered me then for a relationship. So maybe while single, you want to sit down and think to yourself, if I was to give out the version of myself that I am for somebody else, how much would I like me if that is all I was getting? And then maybe, just maybe, you could see to it to change. So, what are the ways do you keep happy and positive as a single person? Share with me down on the comment section and have a lovely night. Good evening.